The NFL has finally given us a true Thursday night thriller as the Los Angeles Rams travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. This game has a 54.5 implied point total, with the visiting Rams as 1.5 point favorites. So for my first prop, we're going to take a look at the visiting LA Rams, and I'm looking at Van Jefferson under 48.5 receiving yards. Some pros for this prop are he's at anywhere from 43.5 to 47.5 receiving yards on various sports books out there, so it seems like PrizePicks is a little bit heavy on the 48.5 receiving yards. Also worth noting, according to the Blitz by Derek Carty, he's projected for about 45.7 receiving yards, which would put him under his projection of 48.5 on PrizePicks. And according to Props.Cash, he's only covered this prop in 2 out of his first 4 games. That's a 50% hit rate. And in 3 games versus Seattle last year, he combined for 15 total receiving yards across those 3 games. That's a 5-yard per game average. And a couple of cons to consider for this prop, one being that Van Jefferson's currently averaging about 56.5 receiving yards per game throughout his first 4 games to start the season. Now, that's a bit higher than the 48.5 that he's listed at over on PrizePicks. Another thing worth mentioning is that the Seattle Seahawks currently rank 9th in terms of yards allowed to opposing wide receivers. They're giving up almost 184 receiving yards per game. If you're liking this content, take a moment, hit that follow button for me, drop a like as well. And also, if you don't play on PrizePicks yet, go to PrizePicks.com, use promo code Curry. Your first deposit's going to be a 100% instant match, meaning they're gonna double your money for free up to $100. Again, just go to PrizePicks.com and use promo code Curry to take advantage of that offer today. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And for the home team, the Seattle Seahawks, the prop that I'm looking at is Russell Wilson under 21.5 rushing yards. A couple of pros that stood out to me on this one, I've seen him on various sports books at 20.5 up to 21.5 rushing yards, so it seems like PrizePicks is taking the high road here with this rushing prop for Russell Wilson. Not to mention, according to the Blitz, he's projected for about 18 rushing yards in this one, which would put him under 21.5. And according to Props.Cash, he's only covered this prop 1 time in the first 4 games to start this season. That's just a 25% hit rate. Also worth noting is that he's averaging just about 14.5 rushing yards to start the season. And a couple of cons to consider with this Russell Wilson rushing yards prop. Starting with the LA Rams, they're giving up the 6th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks, allowing over 26 yards per game to start the season. And on top of that, he has covered this prop in 2 out of his last 3 meetings against the LA Rams, where he averaged about 40 rushing yards per game last year. And like I always say, you can tail, you can fade, or just leave a like and a comment and let me know what you played.